look at this worm and carefully notice its movement. See, the body of this worm is continuously contracting, relaxing, again contracting and relaxing, and this process continues, and this facilitates the movement of the worm. Carefully notice the contraction and the relaxation in the body of the worm. So movement in the worm was facilitated by the contraction and the relaxation of its body. Now even we can move, we can walk, we can run. So what is facilitating that movement in our body? Well, we have a special tissue in our body known as muscle tissue, contraction and relaxation of which facilitates the movement. Now let us see how muscles are helping us in our movement. See, this boy is walking. These are the muscles present in his thighs. These muscles are contracting and relaxing, and that facilitates the movement of his legs. See, the muscles are contracting and relaxing. So muscles help in the movement of our body. Now there are a few muscles in our body which can help us in walk in whichever direction we want to or whenever we want to. So this movement is a voluntary movement. That is, it is under our control, and so the muscles governing this movement is known as the voluntary muscles. So voluntary muscles are the muscles which help us in the voluntary movement, as in the movement which helps us in moving in whichever direction we want to and whenever we want to. See, this man has very improper table manners. He is putting too much of food into his mouth and chewing very rapidly. But even this repulsive manner of chewing is under his voluntary control. If he wants, he can slow down his speed of chewing. So chewing is a voluntary movement. Now post-chewing, how does the food pass through the mouth to the stomach through the gastrointestinal tract? Well, see, the person is eating through the mouth, and through this pipe, which is known as the gastrointestinal tract, the food reaches the stomach for digestion. So how does the food pass through the mouth to the stomach? Well, is it gravitational force? Because we all know that gravitational force acts downwards. That is, it tries to pull an object downwards. But if this is caused by gravitational force, then what happens when a person is vomiting? Then the food is coming from the stomach to the mouth in an upward direction. So gravitational force cannot be working then. So let us see what is causing the movement during vomiting. Let us see. So when a person is vomiting, food from the stomach goes to the mouth. So the contraction and the relaxation of this gastrointestinal tract or the food pipe causes the passage of food from the stomach to the mouth. See, the contraction and relaxation happens in this way, and the food comes from the stomach to the mouth. Now, similarly, while swallowing the food, the same contraction and relaxation of the gastrointestinal tract happens, but in the opposite direction, opposite to that of vomiting. Let us see. See, when a person is swallowing food from the mouth to the stomach, it reaches. So the alternate contraction and the relaxation of this gastrointestinal tract causes the passage of food. The movement or the direction is opposite to that during vomiting. So the movement in the food pipe or the gastrointestinal tract are due to the muscle contraction and the relaxation. But this movement of the gastrointestinal tract is not within our control. So it happens involuntarily. So it is governed by the involuntary muscles of our body. Involuntary means not under one's control. And these involuntary muscles are present in the internal organs and in the vessels, like the blood vessels. Now, why does a person become red in the face when he becomes angry? Well, this is because there are blood vessels under our skin. And these blood vessels have muscles on their walls. So, when a person becomes angry, these muscles dilate. So, what happens is that, see, this is a blood vessel and it has muscles on its walls. So, when a person gets angry, these muscles on the wall of the blood vessels, they dilate to form a broader blood vessel. So, a broader blood vessel would accommodate more blood, and that is the reason why the face turns red, because the blood vessels now are carrying more blood. But this entire movement of the muscles present in these blood vessels are not under our voluntary control. It happens involuntarily. So, this movement of the muscles in the blood vessels, when a person becomes angry, is under the control of involuntary muscles. So, there are two categories of muscles: voluntary muscles, muscles which are completely under our control, and involuntary muscles, muscles which are not under our control. So, voluntary muscles can work for long hours, but after long hours of physical exercise or any physical labor, they often get tired and the muscles get fatigued and they often cramp. Now, the involuntary muscles which are present in our internal organs, they function only when they are required to, and they do not get tired. So, involuntary muscles, they function whenever they are required to, so that they do not have a prolonged activity and they do not get tired, unlike the voluntary muscles which can work for long hours but get fatigued and cramped. Now, there is a third category of muscles present in our body that continues functioning since a baby is born till a person dies. It goes on tirelessly, and this muscle is present in our hearts and is known as the cardiac muscles. See, these muscles continue the contraction and the relaxation throughout the lifetime of a person. The day it stops, a person dies. So these muscles continue their function tirelessly. So muscles are divided into three categories: voluntary muscles, muscles which are not under our voluntary control. They can work for long hours, but they often get fatigued and cramped. Involuntary muscles, muscles which are not under our control, they work only for short periods of time, only when their functions are required, and they do not get tired. And the third category of muscles that are present in our body are known as the cardiac muscles. These muscles continue their function tirelessly throughout the lifetime of a person. Even this works involuntarily, that is, their function is not within our voluntary control. So now can you tell me which muscles are working in these two wrestlers? Well, these two wrestlers, they are wrestling, so it is obvious that their voluntary muscles which are present in their arms and in their legs are working. They are contracting and relaxing. But does that mean that their hearts have stopped pumping blood, or have they stopped breathing? No. All these processes are continuing simultaneously. So, all the muscles present in their body, that is, the voluntary muscles, the involuntary muscles, and the cardiac muscles, all of them, they are working simultaneously.